the line went dead. While I was staring at the blank screen, Simon called my name. Marina, I was just explaining how we build memory association. Why don't you show us? Anxious, I stood up. He laid out 3 cards on the table. One showed a sugar bowl, one a licking flame, one a snowflake. Marina, when you worked at the coffee shop, what scared you the most? I was scared of forgetting if the customers wanted sugar, or if they wanted it iced or hot. He spread the cards before me, explaining that the sugar bowl meant extra sweet, the flame meant hot, and the snowflake meant iced. Then he drew one at random. What does this one mean? I scrambled for the answer, but my mind suddenly went completely blank. My face burned. Instinctively, I covered my ears and squeezed my eyes shut, bracing myself for the look of pure disappointment. Whenever I failed to memorize our phone number, Wayne would look at me exactly like that. You've been trying to memorize a simple number for months, Marina. Are you a blockhead? Even a toddler is smarter than you. Forget it. Teaching you is a waste of time. But then, a gentle hand pulled my fingers away from my ears. Simon laid the card flat in front of me. Don't rush. When you try to think too fast, your brain locks up. He pointed to the card with the flame. What is this? A fire. And what does fire represent? Hot, exactly. If a customer wants a hot drink, you associate it with the flame. He walked me through each card like that. On the final draw, I pictured the symbols just as he had suggested. This time I remembered. See? No rush. You can do this. As we walked back to our seats, a little girl wearing a mushroom-patterned dress held her hand high in the air for a high five. You did so good! She cheered. Nobody had called me good since my father died. My throat tightened, but I blinked the tears back. When class ended, a cold wave of anxiety washed over me. I had spent all my money on the tuition. I didn't have enough for a cab. I didn't know the way, and I had never taken the public bus alone. Simon watched the last of the children leave, then turned his gaze to me. Where do you live? Getting you home is your final lesson for today. On the bus, at every stop, he pointed out landmarks. Look at the curved green bench. Look at the great pedestrian bridge. Finally, the bus pulled up next to a massive bed of blooming roses. This is your stop, Marina. If you can't remember the street names, remember the roses. They'll guide you home. I stared at the apartment complex. For the first time in my life, I hadn't waited for Wayne to fetch me. Whenever I used to ask Wayne to teach me the way home, his impatience would flare. Why do you need to know the directions? With your brain, you can't go out alone anyway. Stop making trouble. Nobody has time to hunt you down every single day. Eventually, I stopped asking. Venturing out meant making trouble, and making trouble was terrifying. At the entrance of the complex, I saw Wayne. Sweat beaded on his forehead. The moment he caught sight of me, he lunged forward and grabbed my wrist in a crushing grip. I told you to stay put. Why can't you just listen to plain English? He squeezed so hard I thought my bones would snap. Ali is still waiting for me to meet the curator, and I had to spend the last hour scouring the streets for you. Are you doing this on purpose? His eyes were rimmed with red, burning with the same desperate anger I'd seen years ago. Once, we had gotten separated in a crowded mall. He had panicked so badly he